Hey, it's me, Baba33, and I am back reviewing wrestling. Instead of reviewing Impact Wrestling that I used to do on my Brip channel, I'm reviewing some independent wrestling that's aired at my local TV station, and that's Reality of Wrestling. Now, the reason why I choose Reality of Wrestling because I'm going to take TWK's advice and support my local independent wrestling company. And B, it's a shorter show compared to WWE Raw, SmackDown, and TNA Impact. So this gave me some good practice to not only improve my reviewing skill in wrestling, but to pretty much practice under my new video server Vimeo, which I'm going to exclusively air my wrestling shows. Reality of Wrestling is owned by former WCW and WWE superstar Booker T. At his wrestling academy, he trains people to become wrestlers as well as commentators and managers. And he created this in 2005. And only recently, he got TV deal like airing it in Texas and now nationwide. But to be honest, it's probably only in Dallas, Texas, Miami, Florida, New York City, and Chicago, Illinois. So not everybody would get this show, and they only upload a few of the episodes on their YouTube channel. With that out of the way, let's begin our opening match with Alex Rain, who is the heel, versus Cowboy Brian Keith, who is the face. And before we talk about the actual match here, let's talk about the arena that they're wrestling in. Now, as you can see, it's pretty dark in there. It's a small number of people, which is pretty standard for most independent wrestling league, at least the one that I see. So it's nothing really spectacular. It's just your basic wrestling show that's being aired on, well, at least local television by now. Now, I'm going to judge not only the match itself, but each wrestler and try to give, well, I guess my prediction of this episode that if either wrestler will become a top wrestler in TNA or WWE. Now, let's begin with Alex Rain. He's pretty much a power guy doing mostly body slams and submission moves. And he did pretty well. This is a short match, so we only get to see a small sample of each wrestler's ability skills. Now, Cowboy Brian Keith, he's pretty much a fast-paced, a bit of a high flyer. Now, even though these two wrestlers has different wrestling skills, their chemistry in the ring were pretty great. These two guys did a great job getting the audience excited. They were way behind Brian Keith, and Alex Rain did a decent job playing a heel. And for the most part, this is a great opening match. I give it a 3 out of 5. Now, do I see either wrestler being in TNA or WWE in the near future? Well, with Alex Rain, he definitely has pretty good wrestling skills, though basic as it is. I think all he really needs is some kind of gimmick, but to be fair, all I see is him wrestling. I didn't hear any promos or anything else, so this is just based on this observation. But I could definitely see Alex Rain being at least in TNA wrestling, maybe even Ring of Honor in the near future. Brian Keith, on the other hand, though he's not a bad wrestler himself, again, these are all great wrestlers. I think he needs a new gimmick because, well, being a cowboy in Texas is not really unique. And, well, again, this is just based on a wrestling match. I'm not sure how his promo skills are, but Brian Keith really didn't leave that much of an impression. The finish of the match is Brian Keith was about to hit the rodeo DDT, which is pretty much just a tornado DDT, but Alex Rain reverses it and hit his finisher, which is pretty much a 4 Nelson Slam that turns into a GTS. This is a great opening match. Really left a good first impression for me, especially this is my first, pretty much my first independent wrestling show. Definitely a great start. I give this match a 3 out of 5. Next, we get an announcement from the general manager of Reality of Wrestling, Sharmell, who is Booker T's wife. Now, Sharmell was also a wrestler in WCW and TNA, but unlike her husband, who had great and legendary matches, Sharmell, on the other hand, did not, especially that one match in TNA which shall not be spoken. Now, her announcement is pretty much talking about how reality racing is going nationwide and also getting ready for the first internet pay-per-view coming this June. And the last thing she mentioned is about the main event match between the Mysterious Q versus Rufus Ryan Davidson, especially to his manager, who is none other than former WCW and a member of Harlem Heat, Stevie Ray. Booker T also making an appearance, pretty much telling the same thing that Sharmell just said, that if Stevie Ray interferes one bit, that he'll be fired. Next, we get a squash match versus Aston Jacob, who is the jobber, versus Cedric Payne, who get this neat little intro. I guess since they don't have a Titantron like WWE and I guess to a certain extent TNA, they pretty much flash the Titantron onto the screen itself, which I think is a neat idea. Now, Cedric Payne is pretty much the monster in the show, and in this match, it's pretty much just him dominating. Aston Jacob gets some nice offense. And the reason why I call Aston Jacob a jobber because I don't see him on the roster list of reality or wrestling, so he may just be a one-time appearance kind of guy. Now, Cedric Payne, pretty much your basic power guy, but unlike Alex Rain earlier ago, Cedric Payne doesn't send out too much. Of course, Aston Jacobs gets at least some decent offense, but Cedric Payne comes back with no problem beating this guy. Now, based on Cedric Payne's performance, could he work in TNA and WWE? Well, with the monster gimmick, I think I had to see some promo before I can actually judge his performance, because I think a good monster will have to have some good ring presence as well as a good, or at least some decent mic skill. Other than that, he may be a decent mid carder at best at Impact Wrestling, but for the most part, he really left no impression. But I really do like his entrance, but his finishing move is pretty weird. As you just saw there, it's pretty much like a spear, but instead of actually running into the guy, he pretty much does a spin afterwards. So for right now, it's just calling it a barrel roll. But for the most part, Cedric Payne, no impression. 2 out of 5. Next, we get a small promo with the ROW Tag Team Champions, Aaron Lockhart and Andrew Lockhart, talking to two brand new luchador that just joined the roster, Thunderjet and Tigre. Pretty much nothing happens, just them saying hello. The luchador can't speak English, so the Lockharts try speaking in Spanish. That's pretty much it. We also get a recap of the match between Gustavo versus the Pride for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Gustavo was the champion, but the Pride was victorious, becoming the new ROH World Heavyweight Championship. Although he doesn't wrestle, we get a good look at the title, which is pretty much a rip-off version of the WCW/WWE World Heavyweight Championship title. Now, according to the website, Costello is not on the roster anymore, and there's also a new champion, so I'm not sure if the Q show reruns of reality of wrestling or something changed during the recording. But pretty much the Pride is not the current champion according to the website. We get one more recap between the feud of the Mysterious Q versus Ruthless Ryan Davison. They were competing in the best of five match. Pretty much the score was even until match number 5. Stevie Ray interfered, causing it to become a match 6. But in this match, there's a stipulation. It's a no disqualification match, and if Stevie Ray interferes, he will be fired. Now, to talk about this promo package, it took a long time, but since I'm pretty much viewing this for the first time, this was a great promo package to get me hyped up for the main event. I was really excited for this match, and well, does it disappoint? We'll soon find out. But if I was keeping up with reality of wrestling, I may complain that the promo package was way too long and taking so much of TV time. But in this very occasion, I don't mind it. I needed the recap. Now it's time for the main event of the match. The Mysterious Q, who is the face, versus Ruthless Ryan Davison, who is the heel, being accompanied by his manager, Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray is pretty much the Paul Heyman of the show, but again, he is not allowed to interfere or he'd be fired. This match was pretty extreme. These two have great psychology, and even though I didn't keep up with their previous matches, I felt like this was like one very important match. It got me excited, and these two delivered, no doubt. Of course, you could probably figure out Mysterious Q, who's dressed up like a Power Ranger, is pretty much a luchador type style, while Ruthless Ryan Davison, pretty much a brawler. These two have perfect chemistry, the crowd was going crazy, and even though they didn't use that much weapons in a no disqualification match, it wasn't really needed. Though then again, this is match number 6 between these two, so probably it was for those who was keeping up with all the matches. But this was definitely a match to be watched. These two were great in the rings. Using the weapon felt like almost a distraction. I felt like if these two just had a straight wrestling match, it would have been equally as great, maybe even better. But of course, this is actually my first viewing of this best of 5 match, so maybe they thought it was getting stale, and by them I mean the bookers. And for the most part, there's only one negative that's I'm going to explain at the end of the match. Now, do I see either of these two make it to TNA WWE? With Mysterious Q, I can definitely see him in TNA Wrestling with the X Division. He definitely got the high flying skills. I think he'd be a fan favorite, though the only problem is I think TNA has enough X Division, at least for the face. Though I don't know if he could be a heel. If he could, that would definitely give him a great advantage. As for WWE, I think the only thing they would do with him is pretty much a character change and a name change, because I don't see the Mysterious Q being too marketable. Though they're not impossible. I guess they could make like giant Q T-shirt, but other than that, I see if WWE was trying to pick him up, I see a character change. Now with recent Ryan Davison, he's not bad. I definitely like him. I think the only problem is his image for the most part. I mean, granted, you don't have to be the a really fit person since they got Bray Wyatt. He may not look like the most fit person ever, but he does got some great skills. But I don't think Rufus Ryan Davidson is that good in the ring. I think he may be a decent mid carder in TNA, but for the most part, I don't see Rufus Ryan Davidson going to either TNA or WWE, at least in the near future, based on this match alone. Now, the finish of this match. Now, you may have noticed right now that the lights are going on and off. What's Stevie Ray up to? Is he's gonna try to screw the mysterious Q again? And you can stop guessing because this is actually a botch on the electrical team. This was not supposed to happen, and unfortunately, we missed the spot where Rufus Ryan Davidson was suplexed to a ladder, and at least we kind of see the mysterious Q does his 450 splash on Rufus Ryan Davidson, winning the Best of 5 series. This match was almost perfect, even ignoring that electrical botch at the end. This was a pretty exciting match, a great way to end the show. I give this match a 4 out of 5. This is me, Bobby Daddy Dre, and I'm not going to do wrestling review on a weekly basis, but I may come back to reality wrestling pretty soon. I'm not sure which episode or when. Maybe once a month, at least that's the plan. So I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to critique my reviewing. I know I made some mistakes here. I kind of rushing it, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. This is me, Bobby Daddy Dre, and I catch you guys later.
Hilton here, live here at Hilton Furniture and Mattress with Hall of Fame wrestler Booker T, and he's approving everybody for credit.
Let him have it.
Customer has great credit, and they want the entire house full of solid wood furniture, no interest.
Let him have it.
Booker, this customer wants a Sealy Posturepedic mattress with the adjustable bed, and they want to reestablish their credit.
Let him have it.
Hilton Furniture and Mattress is the place for all your furniture and mattress needs, and apply for a Hilton Furniture and Mattress credit card and get a free t-shirt. And Booker, everybody's approved for credit.
Oh, let him have it.